Welcome back to the Arizona Daily Mix. It is time to talk financial help with one of my favorite financial persons, and that is Cindy of Cinergy Financial. How are you, Cindy?
I'm terrific today, Brad. How are you?
Well, I'm very good because I know a lot of people are going to be happy to hear what you have to say about 401ks, which is interesting. But there's two things I'm gonna get you on. One is that a lot of people out there don't realize when they leave their jobs or they've been let go and they have a 401, it's theirs to take with them. It doesn't belong to the company, it's actually theirs. And I'm understanding 1 out of 5 Americans are not working in their prime working time right now.
Yeah. Yes, there are people, unfortunately, who have lost their jobs due to the pandemic, and they have these 401ks. And there are some people that have multi 401ks out there, and it's really hard to monitor their performance. So I always like to recommend and give people options that, if you have these 401ks sitting out there, it makes sense to possibly consolidate them so you can monitor your statements, because a lot of these employers don't even send statements anymore. So everything's done online. And then secondly, you get a wide range of product lines and different diversifiers that can help mitigate risk and enhance return. And also doing the Roth conversion. So there's a lot of benefits to sitting down with a financial planner and looking at your options when it comes to these 401ks that are sitting all over the place.
Yeah, and as I said, a lot of people don't realize they have them sitting out there, or again, they're kind of discouraged because they've lost their job and they don't want anything to do with that company. But that 401k is yours to go back in and look through. And now there's something incredible coming out of the White House to actually help people here.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different things that you can do with your 401ks today. Of course, you can cash out your vested portion, but we're not going to recommend you do that. Consolidating them, you can keep them with your employer, of course. A lot of people do keep them with their employer because they don't know they can roll it over to an IRA. And if you're over 59 and a half, you can actually start income on these. Of course, you can roll it to your new company, and that benefit really to you is giving you access to loans. But again, we want you to save for retirement. We don't want you to really touch that money. So if you have a 401k out there and you need income, there are options for you to start an income stream. And last but not least, you could just stay where you're at. So, there's a lot of different choices you have out there. It's important to talk to somebody what your options are.
Okay, so Cindy, I'm going to talk to you now about this. I have a 401k. I have a couple of them. Can I borrow from one of them to start another kind of like investment and not get dinged or anything? Is that possible to do?
Yeah, that's a great question. You're going to have to get those 401ks consolidated and rolled over to your employer, the company that you're currently at. Then you're allowed to take up to $50,000 out of your 401k and pay payments on that. You typically over a 5-year window, you can take up to $50,000, which is 50% of your account balance, if you want to use it for a down payment on a house or you need it for other emergencies. So yeah, you can loan out of the 401k, and the interest that they charge you goes back into your account. So it's a convenient way to access money if you need to for an emergency in a loan option, which is not a taxable option. So get those 401ks consolidated, but once you leave your company, you can no longer take a loan on that particular plan.
Okay, but it's your 401k to move somewhere else, right?
Absolutely. You can move it to an IRA and start income. You can look at different investment choices, because typically your company is limited to the choices or the investment strategies that they're going to give you. So it really makes sense to take a look at where it's at, how it's being managed. Are you able to monitor that? And what are your choices if you choose to roll that over into an IRA?
Got it. I know I'm going to stretch a little bit here, guys, because I really want to ask about what is happening with President Biden's proposal here to help out families right now, especially when it comes to 401ks.
Well, not necessarily regarding 401ks, but there are some new initiatives. It's very exciting. It happens to talk about education. He's proposing the first 2 years of community college free. And, that's where I sent my kids. It's very inexpensive. He's also talking about a universal child care. He thinks our economic conditions in America are because of the cost of child care. And a lot of women tend to stay home. So he wants to have a universal program for 3 and 4-year-olds. And he also wants to make sure that the cost of care isn't more than 7% of parents' income. And if so, there'll be subsidies. So it's very exciting, the new education and child care tax credits, as well as paid medical. This is very fascinating. Maternity leave will be paid for up to 12 weeks, which is amazing because most countries in the world have paid maternity leave. And he's also proposing that if you get disabled or you're out of work, he's going to give you up to 2/3 of your income paid, up to $4,000 a year. So there's a lot of initiatives for lower and middle income families and tax credits that are going to go up. So it's very exciting. So look out for this in the news because now they're debating and they're going to hopefully get some of these action steps into law here in the coming months.
Wow. And I love that I got the information from you, and that's why they need to get a hold of you, but also pick up your book, which is so great. Tell people how they can find out more information and what you have going on.
Yeah, so Redefining Financial Literacy just hit the book stands April 6th, Wall Street Journal bestseller. If you take a moment and you take down this number, we will give 5 free books to the 5 first callers, and that's 1-888-210-8777. And included, we will sit down with you for a half hour and give you a consultation, find out where your 401ks and where they're best suited for you at this point in your life.
Perfect. Cindy, thank you. Every time I talk to you, I learn more and more, and it helps me get closer to having a nice nest egg for retirement. So I appreciate it.
Absolutely, Brad. Thanks for having me.